in the second period. So no, I don't think we can be too disappointed with the fact that a 2-0 cushion at this stage of the competition is all you can really ask for. Napoli are a decent side. They didn't show the best of their abilities tonight, but that was down to the way Arsenal played for sure. But listen, I know there's going to be reaction on social, of course. People want perfection, but in my opinion, that first half performance is as good as I've seen Arsenal play for a long time, and they've got the cushion they need to go and do a job on Napoli in the second leg.
Well, yes, they do have that 2-0 cushion, but another goal making it 3-0 could have definitely put that draw to bed. But here's what the fans are saying about Ozil and Lacazette coming off. They weren't happy. Lacazette makes way for Iwobi and Ozil, and Ozil makes way for Mkhitaryan. Watford in mind? Uncle Mike says Arsenal need a third goal, and Emery's taking off Ozil and Lacazette and putting on Iwobi. Explain this. I mean, guys, explain this. Do you think it went well?
I'll explain it to you. Yeah, it's simple, in my opinion. The intensity Arsenal were playing at, we spoke at half-time about intensity. There was a noticeable drop in intensity. And when you're playing Ramsey, Ozil, Lacazette, Aubameyang, at some point, you're going to have to make a decision to go a little bit more conservative. So with the greatest of respect to Mesut Ozil, he's not the one that's going to be tracking back. He's not going to be the one that's orchestrating midfielders and pulling people around. By putting Henrikh Mkhitaryan in and Alex Iwobi in to replace Lacazette and to replace Ozil, you've got balance. That's what you've got. You get a more balanced side. You're more defensive. And the reality is, 2-0, what you have, you hold. If you start going gung-ho chasing the third goal and you concede one, I'll tell you what, the reaction on there is going to be a lot worse than it is now.
100%. I couldn't agree more with you. The simple fact is, you get this from fans, and, I'm a fan myself, so I understand, you get a bit knee-jerk, but look, at the end of the day, that is not how we should be approaching this. Saying Arsenal need a third goal, we don't need a third goal. 2-0 is a great result. What we don't need is them nicking a goal, like Reece said, because then it's a different tie altogether, and one where I don't even know if we'd be favourites coming out of that. At the end of the day, what we have, we hold. We take the 2-0, very good result. The simple fact is that we do have to think about our fixtures, and this is something that Arsenal periodically have got wrong. We burn our players out, they get injured, then we wonder why we lose important games, because none of our big players are fit. The fact is, if Lacazette, who looked tired towards the end of the game, needs to come off, take him off. We've got a big game on Sunday. Every 3 days is a big game. We need our big players. So Emery's done very, very well, in my opinion.
Well, very passionate from Johnny there. And I think it's Monday that we're playing Watford. But let's talk about his tactics now. We all wanted to see those big four. They came in. Here's what Obina's saying. One thing I like with Emery's Arsenal is that the opposition never knows what lineup and tactics they're going to face. I think it's fair to say it's not just the opposition, it's us, the fans too. Guys, I'm going to throw it over to you. Was he spot on with that starting 11?
Yeah, well, go on, you go ahead.
Absolutely. I mean, this is what we said. The fact is that it was a lineup, as much as when the Everton lineup got announced, people were like, I'm very unsure, I feel a bit funny about this, and then that happened. When we saw the lineup today, we thought we're taking it very seriously, and we saw what's happened. I know that there needs to be rotation that Emery bears in mind when it comes to the remaining games of the season. We don't need to be picking up injuries for player exhaustion and whatnot, but we have to find a way to get our best players on the pitch. These games are too important anymore. We can't take losses, we can't take draws. We've got to start picking up wins. So, if it's not starting all of them, it's got to start 90% of them.
Yeah, and Arsenal don't have a huge squad. And I think what Emery's done remarkably well this season is manage that squad. He's taken players out at key times, he's rested players, he's made changes, he's not been afraid to make big decisions in big games as well. And again, at 2-0 with 15, 20 minutes to go, the game essentially is done. And you've got to look beyond then. You can go, right, tonight we've taken care of business and we've now got a lot of fixtures coming up. Let's look after what we've got. Again, a couple of knocks coming into the game. Laurent Koscielny was just coming back. We need to look after him. He was immense this evening, by the way. Unbelievably good performance from him. So it's always a balancing act in football. But I think Emery's done that remarkably well this season, his first season in charge of the Gunners.
Yes, well, he's definitely got more experience in the Europa League. Some might call him the king of the Europa League. Here's what the fans are saying. You know, there's a lot of positive energy there. They know he's won it 3 times already with Sevilla, so they think he can do it. Reece, coming over to you, do you think the players are going to feel extra confident knowing that their boss has won 3 of the titles with the Europa League?
He's got pedigree, absolutely. He knows how to get the job done, and to defend the title 3 years running as he did with Sevilla is an incredible achievement. You know, a lot of people pour scorn on the Europa League, saying it's a bit of a Mickey Mouse competition, but that's been put to bed. The fact of the matter is, you win the Europa League, you get silverware, plus you get automatic entry into the Champions League. So, you know, having somebody that has the knowledge and understanding of how to win a competition such as the Europa League, of course, is going to give you confidence. And this is why us as fans and the players have got to buy into what he's doing, because he's got the understanding of how to navigate through what is a really complicated and complex fixture list, isn't it? Let's look at the group stage, the amount of games Arsenal have had to play in this competition to get to where they are now. And they've done it relatively seamlessly at the moment. So, yeah, I think we're in very good hands in terms of winning this competition.
I couldn't agree more with Reece. To be honest, I mean, I think this was the biggest selling point when Emery's name got brought up with replacing Wenger. I mean, we need a winner, someone who knows how to get the job done in big cup competitions. Of course, we want to push on towards the Champions League over the next 5 years, shall we say. But in the immediate term, we have to deal with what's on our plate. We're in the Europa League back-to-back seasons. Who's the biggest Europa League expert around? Unai Emery. He comes in and he's already looking like he's hitting the ground running. He knows, like Reece was saying, he knows how to work the system with regards to this competition, knows how to rotate players in and out and get the results that he needs to keep progressing. I'm really impressed with him. I mean, this is a massive, massive result today. Everyone said that Napoli, after dropping out the Champions League, were going to be the team to beat. They've been spanked today. They've been spanked. It's 2-0, but it's a spanking. Absolute spank bottoms. They're going home and they're thinking, you know what, we're out here. If we don't really turn it on, we're going home. And that is what you want from Arsenal, and I'm really made up.
You've got to love Johnny there. Spanking, spank bottoms. What else you got for us? But it wasn't just the front four that everyone was so excited about. It was also the back, that Koscielny and Socrates partnership. Look at this. I could trust my entire family's life with Socrates and Koscielny. Oh, yes. I mean, guys, that experience at the back, how excited were you to see those two come back, especially Koscielny, given that he'd been injured recently?
Well, do you know what? There were rumblings of their partnership, and ironically, they both got injured at the same time, didn't they, a few weeks back? But for me, Laurent Koscielny is the glue within that back three or the back four. He's that calming influence. I mean, tonight again, he rolled back the years, didn't he? His performance tonight, you know, he was there. Nacho Monreal got caught a couple of times with balls over the top. Every time he was out of position, Koscielny was there mopping up the pieces. Same with Socrates on the other side. Yeah, the back three was solid this evening. Napoli's movement wasn't great. It was, you know, speculative runs from deep. It wasn't too difficult to defend against. We're being brutally honest about it. But what they had to deal with, and Petr Čech as well, to his credit, you know, that calming influence, that experience, that's what was key. When you see that lineup, that attacking lineup Arsenal put on the pitch tonight, you knew that the back three were going to be vitally important, as was the goalkeeper, and they stood up to be counted.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, Koscielny, I would probably slightly disagree. I'd completely agree with how immense he was today. Absolute man mountain. I actually think Socrates is becoming probably our most important defender out the front three because of how he plays with the other, his potential centre-back partners. I think the best pairing we have is Koscielny and Socrates. But, you know, and yeah, just them two. I'm not going to speak about anyone else. I don't need to go on air about any other person.
Who else could you possibly be referring to?
I don't know. I think definitely
don't do it.
Play them two. Don't need anyone else there. But, look, I mean, whilst we are talking about absolutely excellent defensive performances today, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, I'm sure we're going to move on to it, but just want to throw it out there. Absolutely outstanding. And if I did move Aaron Ramsey down from to a 9 because of that bad miss, there's one guy who I thought was 10 out of 10 today, and that was Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I thought it was excellent.
No, we did read a tweet earlier saying that Gareth Southgate needs to pick him. Reece, do you think he needs to be featuring in the England team going forward?
That's not for me to say, is it? Do you know what? I said in commentary that I think Ainsley Maitland-Niles has grown exponentially in confidence. You know, you can see when he first came into the side, he gave the impression, one of these players gives the impression he's very casual, very laid back, but you can see he's learning on the job, and Obviously, the unfortunate circumstance with Bellerin being injured, he's been given an opportunity in his least favoured position. He doesn't want to play right wing back. He doesn't want to play right back. He wants to play holding midfield. You saw against Man United last season how effective he can be in that position. But he's a young man and he's doing a job. And again, his performances of late have been exceptional. And tonight, again, energy, industry, skill and creativity going forward, but also then having the maturity to do your defensive duties. It was a well-rounded performance. Whether he's ready for England duty, who knows? He's probably got a lot of mileage left in the under-21s, to be honest with you. But yeah, if he keeps playing like that, he won't be far away from a national call-up in the not-too-distant future, we'll say.
Wow.
Yeah, I definitely think people try to rush people into the England squad. What's the point? He'll get a little cap for about 5 minutes and then not play. At the end of the day, if he's playing well for Arsenal, he'll end up in the England team. That's just the way it will go. So, full encouragement for him. If he keeps playing like this, it's bound to happen. But just in terms of him playing at right back, Bellerin started off as like a striker. So a lot of people don't want to play right back, but they end up there. Do you want to play for Arsenal? Yeah. All right, you're right back, mate. So get on with it, Ainsley. You're doing well, mate.
Well, before we go, here's a look at the other results from the other Europa League draws tonight. Take a look, guys. Benfica won 4-2. Chelsea managed to get a goal in the second half, 1-0. Villarreal against Valencia. Valencia won 3-1. So we're actually going to face the winner out of that Spanish meeting between Villarreal and Valencia. Be interesting for Unai Emery. Guys, who would you want to see out of those two?
At this point in time, Villarreal for me, which is looking unlikely after that result in the first leg. But listen, when you progress into the latter stage of a competition, every game is going to be tough. Intensity rises, expectation rises. But as Johnny already said, once you get past Napoli, you are then automatically going to get pressure because you're then going to be one of the favourites moving into the latter stages. So listen, at this stage, get past Napoli in the second leg and we'll take on anybody that's thrown in front of us.
Definitely. I mean, Chelsea are in there and Chelsea are going to feel like they've got a pretty clear run to the whole competition, But if you stick me in a game against Chelsea, I'm going to back us all day long because I think we're better than them. And I want to see us finish above them in the league. They're a one-man team. Put me on record on that. Yeah, you can write it down, one-man team. But basically, yeah, we'd love Villarreal. I don't think it's going to happen. It would be lovely to see Santi again, and he's their best player these days. He's a wonderful player, but the fact is he's moved there, barely salvaging a career, and suddenly he's their best player. He plays every week. So I think we could get the better of Villarreal. Valencia will be a struggle. Obviously, Unai Emery going back to the next club of his, but I still would feel confident about progressing. And yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Watford next.
Hey, that's what we like to hear. So guys, it's that time of the show. I'm going to come to you both and ask you to describe today's performance in one word. Reece, first please.
Intensity.
Hey, what about you, Johnny?
Epic.
Look at that.
Better for you.
Intensity and epic. How did you guys find it? Well, thank you to our guests, Johnny and Reece, for joining us, and thank you all of you for watching today. We'll be back on Monday for our away game against Watford in the Premier League, and we'll see you soon.